Hello, welcome back to Gray the Gold Witch. Today we're going to be doing a reading on messages from your root chakra. We have 4 piles today. The first is Rose Quartz Heart. The second is Celestite. The third is Carnelian. And the fourth is this egg. So take a second and pause the video if you need to and meditate on the piles, and I will see you in your reading. Hey pile 1, if you chose the Rose Quartz Heart, then this is your message from your root chakra. So let's get into it. We're first going to use tarot. I decided for this reading I'm going to shuffle all of the cards on screen. So we'll see how that goes. Just felt right. So what does pile 1's root chakra want pile 1 to know? We have the King of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Sun in reverse, and Judgment. Okay. Pile 1. Off the bat, what I'm getting for you is whatever is happening in your life right now, it's aligning you with your highest good. And there might be some changes in your life or some movements that are unexpected or might not be your first instinct on what you want, but they're leading to your highest good. Whatever path you're taking right now, you're meant to be practical and efficient with money because you're building a solid foundation for yourself and for a lasting legacy for your life. And even if turns seem like the wrong ones, they're the right ones in the long run. And Spirit's keeping this vague and mysterious, but I have a feeling that something unexpected in your living situation or in your job, there's some sort of uprooting here where you think that it isn't in your best interest or in your utmost fulfillment, but it will end up being so. And you're just being really asked by your root chakra to trust where you're led and know that this stability is promised. And you're being looked on very favorably in the spirit realm right now. And you're being asked as much as you can to be less emotional about this and more practical and objective. Even if your path isn't exactly how you would have planned it out to be physically or from your perception, on an energetic level, it's going exactly the way you want it to, even if it doesn't look that way to you with your perspective. But overall, you're being asked to have trust and know that when you look back on this time in your life, it's going to make sense why these events had to take place the way they did to get you to where you want it to be. This is a period of walking by faith and not by sight, and knowing that Spirit's leading you in the right direction. And whatever's happening here, I see, is creating stability for you, for your long-term happiness. And when I think of the King of Swords, I sometimes think about tough decisions and the fact that sometimes hard decisions must be made for our highest good. And I see that that's what you're having to make. And Spirit's really coming through to say that everything passes. This too shall pass. But you're headed in the right direction, and your root chakra is saying that the actions that are taking place in your life are helping stabilize it and secure it and make you more confident in your path forward. And when you might not look at this situation right now as your fulfillment, but when you look back on it, it's really coming through that you're going to think that the way your life has been going and the twists and turns it's been taking, you're going to be very grateful for in retrospect. So we're going to look at some oracle cards now for more context. What does pile 1 need to know from the root chakra? Okay. We have addict and thief. This time in your life is helping shed light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Whatever might look like a loss in your external world is a blessing in disguise, and you're being asked not to fear the turns your life is making, because it's leading to your self-actualization and ultimate fulfillment. And I see you're healing inner child wounds here, and really showing yourself that you can trust yourself, and that the innate beauty and soul you have within you can never be taken away, no matter the circumstances. And whatever this period in your life is, it's the foundation for you to achieve all of your dreams and wants. So you're being asked to just trust whatever's happening. I know this is a confusing message, but you're going the right way. And that's the most important thing for you to know, that even if things look like they're falling apart outside of you, it's teaching you a very formative lesson. And your root chakra is basically saying that this is what needs to happen for you to self-actualize and come into yourself. And you might be dealing with some things that are hard, like addicting, like coming to terms with addictive patterns, or doing shadow work that is uncomfortable. But this work is going to make you see your light for all of its glory and strength, and it's bringing you closer to yourself and to more love for yourself. So whatever this is, trust it. I really feel like you should just hold on and enjoy the ride, because the basis you're building for yourself is rock solid. Like, your root chakra is coming through to say that this is making your stability and security in life in the long run very strong, very stable, and very rooted. So that's what I'm getting from that. Let's look at the animal spirit cards. I feel like shuffling. I can never do like the bridge after I'm working on that. I'm being told to take them all. That's a lot of cards. Okay, we have the horse, crocodile in reverse, bee, and hummingbird in reverse. Okay, interesting. So I see a very strong determination within you, and a very good work ethic. And really what Spirit's using this time to balance out your life with right now is with rest. You're learning patience, and you're learning rest. And you're learning how to sustain yourself on a spiritual level. With the hummingbird card, the hummingbird knows where to get its nectar. And I see that you're learning how to sustain yourself, not for external validation, but for your inner needs and your soul's needs. Because I think you're going to go places with your work ethic and your strength of spirit. But you first need to learn how to rest and take care of yourself and learn inner validation rather than external validation. You need to learn how to love who you are regardless of accomplishment before you get these accomplishments. Because if you get them first, you'll rely on them for your sense of self. So you're meant to learn how to take care of yourself and love you for just being you, and the rest will follow. And this is a very important lesson in your life. So whatever's happening, it's bringing you closer to loving yourself just for being you and not for any sign of productivity or strength. In a physical manner or in the material realm. So this is a very spiritual lesson you're learning right now, is to love yourself regardless of the external situation. And once you learn this, abundance will flow in quickly because you have this amazing productivity and work ethic and drive, and you're a powerhouse, frankly. But you're learning how to care for yourself in a way that you might not have growing up. You might have had to grow up pretty fast, and you weren't really taught to care for yourself with unconditional love, and that's what you're learning how to do. So let's look at the Rose Oracle cards. What does pile 1 need to know from the root chakra? Okay. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity, and trust the seasons. Yeah, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, growth. I think you're in a stiller period of your life, and you're really just being asked to trust where you're at. You might be spending more time with family than you used to, or people who feel like family. And this is meant to happen. This is in your divine plan, and it's a season of your life, and it's not forever, and you're just being asked to be grateful for it now, because life is impermanent and nothing lasts forever. So you're being asked to embrace this cycle, and even though it's not a fast-moving one, and I can see that you enjoy the fast-moving ones more because you have this strength of spirit and this zest for life, but right now, this is all about nurturance for yourself and learning how to mother yourself, honestly. So I feel like some of you might think rest is for the weak, and it's not. Rest is necessary to make you move even stronger. Life is all about the balance of slowing down and speeding up, and it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, you know? So let's look at the archetype deck for pile 1. What is pile 1's root chakra? Ooh. What does pile 1's root chakra want them to know? Okay. We have the Bardo. This is bringing you into a deeper trust in your faith and in your spirituality and feeling nourished regardless of external circumstances. And I feel like your spiritual connection is really raising right now and heightening, and you're having more faith in walking by faith and not by sight. And I feel like you're really coming to terms with our mortality and that life is impermanent, and what you want to do, you must do in the now. And I think you're having more gratitude for the people in your life, the family in your life, the relationships that make life special. And the more you practice this gratitude, the more material abundance will flow into your life. But having this love for value system of what really matters to you will take less importance off of these material things. And when you get them, you'll be grateful for the addition, but you'll know it's not the soul and the heart of why you do the things you do. And I see this as the Bardo is all about a transition realm, and I really feel like you're in this transitionary phase, and you're just the lesson of this time is to how to learn how to be gentle with yourself and meet yourself where you're at and where your life is at. So we're going to look at the angels' advice cards. Trust. Yeah, just trust. even this says trust the seasons. This time in your life is really about learning how to trust where you're at and knowing that things will work out, and nothing lasts forever. So enjoy where you're at. That's what I'm really seeing. And you're very protected right now in this time of your life. And you're going to look back on this season of your life and have immense gratitude it happened. It's going to be a very special part of your life story. So to close, we're going to look at Rumi Oracle cards. These are the kind of cards that you need to read the book because the wisdom's so intense. So let's see what you got. Sacred Phoenix Heart. Okay. Love. Oh my god, this is perfect. Pile 1. Love guides us through travails that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge, from any cause. It cannot. It is just love's way. Love says to us there is always another way. You are receiving this guidance now. Perhaps you are scratching your head quizzically, or are in deepest despair because you appear to have met a dead end, a frowning no, or a dismissive laugh upon your quest to bring love alive. So then, do you choose to believe in love, or in the death of sorts your heart faces? Your heart shall rally. I choose death because that is the portal to new life. And so it is wise, you see, but you must be brave. To be burned in love by love for love will involve endurance of pain, but it will also place it in context. It is the shorter pain that is not compounded by erroneous thinking. That pain comes and goes quite quickly when you realize that love is simply playfully smacking your wrist and saying, "Not that way, beloved. There are great pitfalls on that path. Come take this one, where there shall be wine and dancing." So you are guided to accept the closed doors, the death, the pain, and to let it become tinder for your fire. Cry whatever tears need to be cried so your tinder can be dry and ready to create the sparks your heart needs. That sacred phoenix, ready to die into life within you, is hungry for the fire. Let it feast so it can fulfill its potential, its divine destiny, and become born again into new form, more divinely aligned and alive than ever before. This oracle comes with a message for you. You may feel as though you have been wandering in a desert for many years with no oasis in sight. You might have been through darkness, through trials, endured confusion and uncertainty as you sought for your truth, sought divine revelation, and sought your purpose to confirm your plans. Seek no more. The answers are now given, or very soon will be. And the life, the passion, the purpose, it will all come to you in clarity. Does life need to be grasped for? It is bestowed according to grace and destiny. It need not be sought as much as received. The spiritual destiny that calls your soul, even whilst you may feel your bodily ears are deaf to the call, makes your heart leap. It is though hearing the beloved's voice and stirring an ancient memory of love so powerful moves you, even without you necessarily understanding how or why. So let the life come to you. Be prepared to let the old version of your life pass away into the new life now being born. What does this mean? It means letting go of your striving, your opinions, your doubts, your despair, and your fears. Life wants to happen through you, blazing angel. You don't have to do much other than get out of your own way. Love is your nature. Let it flourish and life shall follow or unfold accordingly. This oracle brings a particular message regarding divine timing, that oh so significant factor in our dreams coming to life. Your time is fast approaching. It may even be now. It may seem least likely to you. There may be great darkness or confusion. And yet the unveiling of the new dawn is closest to the deepest darkness of night. Do not turn back or away from your progress. Your very next steps shall be upon hallowed ground, rendered golden by the rays of the rising sun. Whew, okay. Pile 1, that is beautiful, and that's your message. Let life carry you through this, and you're headed to more abundance and blessing than you even realized. So trust where you're at. Okay, this is all I'm getting for you, Pile 1. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Love you. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. If you chose the Celestite, then this is your reading on messages from your root chakra. So I'm going to shuffle the tarot, and then we'll get into it. I decided I'm going to shuffle all cards on camera in this video. So, what does Pile 2 need to know? Oh, that's too many. Spirit. What are Pile 2's messages from their root chakra? 7 of Wands. Three of Swords. Queen of Wands. One more. And Strength. I'm hearing something about bittersweetness. Okay. I feel like you've had to be in fight or flight mode. Probably this stems from your childhood, that you had some intense survival fears, and sometimes I feel like this plays out in your current day life. And I feel like your root chakra can be overactive sometimes because you have a fear of pain and of, I think you're a very hypervigilant person who really wants to protect the people around you, and you have an immense strength to you, and you can get through anything, and the cards are very clear on that. But your root chakra really is coming in to say you don't have to be hypervigilant as often as you are, that things are more peaceful than you give them credit for, and you can handle anything that comes your way. And with the Queen of Wands in reverse, I see that sometimes you might be impulsive with decisions or act from a place of imbalance. And you might spread yourself too thin. And your root chakra is really coming through to say any fears you have come from past pain. And fears are false evidence appearing real. And just because something happened in your childhood doesn't mean it'll happen in your present. And I feel like sometimes your root chakra activation brings you back to these fears you had in childhood of survival. And with the 7 of Wands in reverse, I'm seeing you don't need to fight in the way you do. I feel like you're constantly in survival mode, trying to protect the people around you and the people you love, because you don't want them to feel this pain you felt in childhood of these survival fears. But a tiger is always able to protect themselves and can always handle whatever comes their way. And I see that's how you operate. And you don't need to come at everything from this place of fear, because you're a very abundant person who, I can tell you have success and happiness in your life. And sometimes you overthink, or you go into this nervous system response of fight or flight. You are very well protected, Pile 2. And your root chakra is coming in to let you know that you don't have to feel this pain all the time, and you can relax, and you don't need to be on guard in the way you are about your survival, because things will work out. And I'm just feeling this release and pressure that you're being asked to give yourself. If you look all around you And I'm seeing a sensory exercise of noticing things with each of your senses, what you can hear, what you can taste, what you can feel, what you can see around you, and reminding yourself that you're safe now. Because what I'm seeing in these cards is you might have had a parental figure you didn't know what to expect with, and sometimes you had to be on guard, and you're obviously not in that situation anymore, but whenever you get triggered into this fear, that's where it stems from, is this childhood stuff. So once you address this and realize that this pain is in the past, you can move forward knowing that you can handle anything that comes your way. And I feel like this is important for you to recognize, so that when you get into this fight or flight response, you can get out of it by realizing you are safe in this moment. And this is you being triggered because of events in your far past. For some people, it could be recent past, but I can see you're very protected, and the state of fear you have about your survival is not worth your energy, and your energy is better spent on other things, and knowing that whatever comes your way, you'll be able to handle it. I can see you can. You're a warrior, and nothing like what you've gone through in the past is going to happen again. That is abundantly clear. So knowing that should give you peace of mind, and that you've seen the worst of it. And all you need to do is move forward. And don't blame yourself for having these feelings of pain from the past. This is very normal. But it's unfair to yourself to not recognize that this is what's happening, because I feel like with a recognition of this survival response, you'll have a lot less stress in your life, because you'll be able to name it for what it is and move forward accordingly and have less stress and fear in your life. So let's get into the oracle cards. What does pile 2 need to hear? What does pile 2 need to hear from the root chakra? Seeker, light attribute, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. You're meant to understand this trauma response so that you don't have to live in it anymore. This is very clear. Message is very, very clear to me. You're on a stable path. I see that you're very much in this light attribute, and you don't want to feel this intense pain sometimes, especially because you're a smart person and can realize that your fears are false evidence appearing real. You know that there's a cognitive distortion that's making you fearful of your environment and your security. And the more wisdom you gain and truth you understand about how it's just the past haunting you, you'll be able to move forward with more wisdom and peace. And I'm thinking of how this guy's walking with a cane or a walking stick and into these 2 mountains in a similar way that the tiger is. Just because you understand this about your past doesn't negate the fact that your past was very painful and hard. Because I can see you had serious and legitimate fears when you were younger and when you were in this time of neglect and fear. And nothing will make the fact that happened okay, but knowing that that's what makes you feel bad in the present moment will help you alleviate that pain that comes in the present moment, because those events aren't happening to you right now. And understanding this will give you more wisdom. But it's not like sunshine and rainbows, like this sucks. It sucks this happened to you. But the more you acknowledge it, the lighter your load will be as you move forward. the less you'll carry on your path. What does pile 2 need to hear from the root chakra? Gazelle. Yeah, you're very hypervigilant. The gazelle goes into freeze mode whenever they're startled. This is a very clear indication that your nervous system response is what your root chakra wants you to know about. And there's so much red in these cards, and your root chakra wants to confirm that you are very connected to it in meaningful, beautiful ways. But at the same time, you're so hypervigilant, you might be easily spooked in your day-to-day life, and this nervous system response might be activated. And really calling it out for what it is and realizing it's phantoms of the past will give you a lot more peace moving forward. Because when you recognize it's not something happening in your current environment, you'll find more peace. And it's nice to know that this is, humans, yes, we have consciousness, but we act based on primal instincts that have been with humanity all through our evolution. And honestly, your response and your nervous system response is a primal instinct to a fear of danger. And understanding that this is just what makes us human and makes us it's a fact of life, I think it'll take less pressure off you. Like, don't be hard on yourself about having this nervous system response. Everybody has this. It's in human nature. But because we're humans and we have the ability to perceive our behavior in a way other animals don't, we can allow it to work with us more rather than working against us. Or by having knowledge, we have more power over these responses and how we deal with them and how we perceive them. Okay, let's look at this. We have the wild rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness untamed. And we have morning dew. Clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I love the fact that untamed came out here, because when we talk about nervous system responses, that's a nature of like the wild primal response within us. So you're being asked to embrace this about yourself and use it as a piece of knowledge rather than an obstacle in your path, because it's a part of you. And knowing this about yourself will give you more power over how you perceive situations and how you let life affect you. This gives you the power to respond rather than to react. And that's very helpful in moving through life smoothly. And with the morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, these experiences really, these nervous system responses come from past trauma. And the more you acknowledge that that past trauma isn't happening in your present on a conscious level, the more you'll be able to have a positive outlook and have less of these triggering nervous system responses. This is about observation and application, observing your nervous system fight or flight responses and knowing how to have that mindfulness and move past them in a productive way for yourself. And this will just give you more peace in your day-to-day life. And your root chakra definitely is hyperactive at this point, but with practice you can relieve this stress. So this is cool because this is a spread that discusses a problem and how you can solve it, you know? This is how you can have more peace of mind and a more intimate knowledge of your behavior and why you do the things you do. So, yeah, human psychology is very interesting. Let's look at the archetype deck. We have Stone, Castle, Storm, Agape, and the Prayer. I love when the Stone and the Storm come out together because something I have tried to do in my spiritual practice and my growth as a person is be somebody who is a stone despite whatever storm comes my way. I love that analogy in nature. Like, no matter how rained on or affected a stone is by a storm, they come out the same and they weather the storms they go through. And with this castle, I see that you have abundance in your life and you have maybe what you had hoped for as a child. And this practice is knowing that you can return to this stone rather than this nervous system response in any situation you face. This is a lifelong tool that will help you in the good times and the bad times, and teach you how to have unconditional love for yourself, because I think you not understanding why you get into this state can make you hard on yourself. And with more knowledge of it, you'll realize it's just human behavior. And something I really think the power of prayer is huge. And when you get activated in this way, handing it over to whatever higher power you practice with, I think that could be really helpful for you. Because I see you are this rock, and that's where you're most comfortable, is in this solid security. That's what you crave, is this feeling. But this is all explaining why sometimes you go into this fear-based state, and you don't have to let it have power over you. You can adapt to it and work with it and help yourself in these stressful periods. So let's look at the advice cards for pile 2. In the near future and improving health. Oh, that's so cool. So now that we have discussed this, I feel like anytime you go into this response, you can improve your response to it and improve how you take care of yourself. Because now that you have awareness of it, you can make changes in your near future. And I see you feeling the effects of this wisdom soon. So this is really cool for you, pile 2. I really feel like you're going to be working on yourself and finding more peace in your day-to-day life because of this awareness. And that's what's so cool about tarot, is tarot can really help us heal in ways that we wouldn't expect, because it taps into the subconscious and makes our felt experience known through visuals. So yeah, we're going to close with the Rumi archetype oracle cards for you. And this is, I'm going to read this out of the book because the wisdom in that book is unmatched. For pile 2, Hand of Fatima. Oh, that's a beautiful card. Okay. You are giving birth to more spirit than you have ever held before. During such times, a divine midwife can be helpful and supportive. This is Fatima, radiant daughter of the great beloved, who reaches from the skies, who reaches up from within your body, from deep within the earth, and helps bring you the gift of protection, grace, and love. You are safe. Your prayers, you are held and you are bound within her warmth. She has received your prayers and she honors your devotion to life, to love, and to growth. She will help you. Ask for her blessing daily. You can use a simple sacred honoring ritual to do so if you need guidance on how to pray to her, but any words from your heart spoken in authenticity will suffice, no matter how simple or ornate they may be. She responds to the feeling behind the words, and she responds instantly, beyond time and space. In fact, she has responded even now, perhaps before you even knew she was needed. This oracle brings you the guidance that what is being born in your life right now, in your own consciousness as a seed, perhaps of a new way of being, a new idea, belief system, philosophy, or sense of self, is going to come to maturity under the loving protection of the Divine Mother. You are also being asked to heed your intuition and instincts. Wow, we've been talking about instincts. Have some discernment about who you involve yourself with and how you choose to use your time and energy. Allow yourself to feel Fatima's guidance and comfort in you by giving yourself permission to be nurtured through your own choices and the people or situations you say yes or no to in your life. This is a way to honor her presence and allow her to help you, which she wishes to do in all ways possible. Love is all things you see, dearest angel, and that means saying no can mean saying yes to something greater. So give yourself permission to say your no's and yeses as dictated by your heart. The oracle also brings you the message that your body is sacred and worth your attention. You do not have to become obsessed. You do not have to push or judge your body, but you can honor him or her as a sacred animal. Wow, through which your spirit creates soul and expresses itself in the world. This is a truly wonderful and amazing gift, extraordinary and yet fraught with challenge. The spirit can be powerful, sometimes it can be hesitant too, enough to really engage with the body and come to life. There is a story that the angels sing music to lure the spirits into the body, but used to its freedom, it was reluctant to experience itself in what looked like rather confining matter. The spirit did not know that Fatima would be initiating the spirit into her mysteries through the body. She was going to be sharing the sensuality of life, the sacredness of love, the deep mystery of life, death and rebirth, and the wonders of nature. She was going to show the divine could live not only in light, but also in flesh. Fatima holds the wildness of divine feminine wisdom and the sanctity of life. She has great gifts of ecstatic presence, only able to be experienced through the spirit living in the body. She will share this if you allow her to guide you. Once the spirit recognizes this, even just gets a whiff of Fatima's glorious fragrance, enthusiasm for life ignites, and the wonders of the world experienced through the body become a way to revere the great beloved and turn all of life into the temple of love. The oracle also comes with guidance. Giving your body rest and healing is most beneficial at this time. There are symptoms you're experiencing, anything from fuzzy-headedness to tiredness and aches and pains, as well as shifts in body temperatures that seem unbalanced. And these are directly related, if not solely, to the interaction of your spiritual essence with your sacred animal body. These will even out under Fatima's grace and protection, like two housemates learning to live together and enhance each other, rather than distract and annoy each other with their quirks and differences. This settling in process will happen all the more easily when you ask for Fatima's help. This oracle also advises that you ask for help and protection in any manner, that if you ask for help and protection in any matter, it will be granted. There is no exception to this rule. There is nothing you have done that has made you unworthy of divine intervention, grace, and love. Not one thing ever. Ask, trust, and receive. So, pile 2, that was beautiful and very relevant to your reading. So, yeah. I hope this helped you, and these are the messages from your root chakra. So, this is all I'm seeing for you. I'll see you in another reading. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you chose the carnelian stone, then this is your reading on guidance from your root chakra. So, we're going to start with the tarot cards. I was shuffling all of the cards on screen today because I felt called to. immediately tapping into your energy, I'm hearing Get Into It Yeah by Doja Cat. Specifically, call him Ed Sheeran, he in love with my body. So, that's interesting, I don't know. Maybe it's just you're vibing. Okay, so let's look at tarot first. Then the star pops out on its head, or on its face. Okay. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. King of Cups. The Hermit. And the Two of Swords in reverse. I'm hearing better shape up from Greece. Better shape up, do. Okay. In my heart, I'm set on you. Okay, I'm deleting that. Okay, pile 3. The Devil is on the back of the deck. So, I feel like you are attracting a lot of attention to you right now, and your root chakra is coming in to say, be wise with the energy you let into your life. You're very protected in this time of your life, but there's definitely, I'm hearing you have suitors around you, which is a very antiquated term, but that's what I'm hearing, is that you have people who are vying for your love or attention around you. And not all that glitters is gold. And I love that all of these cards have green and blue in them, so your throat chakra and your heart chakra are definitely being referenced here, as well as the red on the swords, which, shout out to the root. So you're getting a lot of attention, and I think it's just from who you innately are. The star doesn't have to do anything besides be a star to be special, you know? You just are who you are. And I'm seeing that there's some people coming in who are immature and not ready to give you what you need. There are people who will only sit in the shallow water with you. And there are also people in your environment who will swim to your depths and can give you the fulfillment that you deserve in a relationship. Because you already offer yourself so much fulfillment and introspection and wisdom that it takes a lot to be on your level, pile 3. And yeah, you're having some people coming in who could really, honestly, I'm hearing there's some people who are all talk and no action, and there's people who really don't deserve to be in your energy space that could end up hurting you, because you're the kind of person who sees the good in everyone. And so you're being asked to be extra discerning with the people, the romantic interests you have around you, because not all that glitters is gold. And I feel like you've really wanted love to come into your life because you've spent a lot of time understanding yourself and growing into yourself, and Spirit's commending you on the effort you've put into yourself. You have wisdom beyond your years, and anybody would be lucky to be with you. But you must be extra discerning of the people entering your life right now. Who they say they are, believe who they say they are. Do not look past red flags right now, because I'm seeing in your energy, there's definitely people coming in who are all talk, no action. And there's people who have genuine depth that want to get to know you and could be a very reliable life partner. So your root chakra is coming in to say, this message I have taken so far as romantic. That's the energy I've gotten. But if you're already in a relationship, This could also be with friendships in your life. Basically, you're being asked to be more discerning than you have been towards the energies entering your life. Because it never feels good to cut people off or to reject people or to move forward. But this is a double-edged sword. Like, you can't win either way. You're gonna feel bad about rejecting people, but also if you end up with them, they could end up hurting you because of their lack of wisdom and maturity. You're definitely being asked to be vigilant about the traits of the people you are attracting around you, and if their actions match their words, if their intentions are acceptable to you. You're vibrating at a very high level, and it's imperative for you to have energies that aren't going to knock you off of this pedestal. And I see some reckless energies or people who just can't give what you give that could drain your life force. So you have to be extra discerning of the relationship you choose. The ones that take up most of your energy and time. They should be reciprocal and give you as much as you give them. And this is one of those things that's like very yin-yang, because it sucks to be put in the position where somebody can't give you as much as you give them, but this spread's showing that there is that energy in your life of depth, and there is at least one person in your energy around your environment who's attracted to you, who can meet your level and give you an equal give and take and be that reliable counterpart. So if you need time to introspect and think about this more, I know you spend a lot of time by yourself and are a very wise, discerning person. I see this hermit phase has lasted for a while for you. You are meant to really weigh this out and choose with discernment, because in your heart you know what has room to grow and who has room to grow with you. And you're being asked to really choose yourself here because you know what's best for you. I'm really seeing that. I see you're a very powerful person with these cards. And I know you'll choose, I hope you'll choose what has the best long-term happiness for you. Don't be caught in appearances or illusions or people who say all the right things. Focus on more depth. And what the thing I'm hearing is, it's imperative for you to reflect after you leave a person's presence and see if you feel more drained or more energized after being with them. Because if you feel more drained, that means they take more than they give. So we have the Queen. Oh my God. So the last pick card I did, there was a pile in the message meant to find you, where the Star came out at the beginning and the Queen came out. So if you were drawn to that pile, that's awesome. I definitely think these piles are connected. I have the Poet. I love that these are red too when we're referencing the root chakra and child wounded. Okay. So you must not lower your standards right now. Remember, you're this Star and this Queen, and you deserve the very best. And we are not compromising here with that. You deserve the best of any relationship you're a part of. And I see this is a hint that the person you're meant to be with is an artist in some form and expresses soul insights in symbolic language. They are a very interesting communicator, and they expand your mind in a way that every time you're with them, you're stimulated intellectually. I see that for sure. And they speak directly to your soul. So this person has that romantic nature to them. Also, they are a very kind spirit and help other people in some form of charity or service work. And they've learned how to forgive their past experiences. This is a very deep soul. This is what I'm hearing is, and this, it doesn't matter what gender identity this partner that's coming forward to you has, but the metaphor Spirit's giving me is some people in your life are boys and there's some that are men, and you are aligned with the men. However, gender identity, we're open to all types of relationships here on this channel, but that's what Spirit channeled down for me, was that this person is mature and isn't messing around or playing games. So this person's going to be a very pure-hearted person who has healed their wounds and is helping other people to heal too. And they're just going to be a very beautiful soul. So the Queen's looking over at these traits. Make sure that the person you end up with has these traits, because if they don't, they're not the person you're seeking. Okay, let's look at the animal spirit cards. Okay, I'm hearing take all of them. Wolf, tiger, shark, and deer. You and this person will really balance each other out well, and you're going to be a sense of stability and protection for each other. And this relationship will be very nurturing, and if you want kids or family, that's what it will lead to. And if this is only a friendship, take it how it resonates. But this person will be someone you can really trust and rely on. And I'm seeing that they're waiting for you, and that you're both very strong people who, honestly, I think this person, for some of you, already knows you and is waiting to come forward about their feelings. I'm hearing the phrase, time will tell, we won't. So I think that this will unfold naturally in divine timing. But the reason your root chakra is coming through with this is because this is a long-term partner who will be a sense of stability and support for you. You're going to be family to each other. And that's what's coming through the strongest here. So let's look at the Rose Oracle cards. What does Pile 3 need to know? The sacred water, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. Yes. Whoever nourishes you, that's who you should spend time with. Whoever replenishes you, when you leave them and you feel more nourished, that's a sign that that's this person. This is a very sacred relationship for you and will empower you. This is a relationship that will make your life bigger rather than smaller. So when you feel your life expanding with this person, that's another sign. There will be so many signs that this is the right person. You won't have to, as long as you are staying on your pedestal, this will all fall in naturally, because the Queen attracts, the star attracts to it, and that's what you're currently doing. And this person will just motivate you to take care of yourself. It's a very healthy relationship, whoever this is coming in. So let's look at the archetype deck. We have Father, the Womb, and Nectar. So take it how it resonates, but this might be the parent of your children or a very nurturing person in your life. Someone it could come in so many different forms. Take it how it resonates. But for the majority of people watching this, this is a romantic relationship, and they could be the parent of your children. And the nectar card's all about nourishment and replenishment, and I just see that this person being in your life will add to your quality of life. And your root chakra is coming through with this, because this is a foundational relationship. This is someone you build a life with. So that's pretty cool and crazy. Not crazy, but it's very deep, and this is a very clear message. Like, this is a life partner. So let's look at your angels cards. Peaceful resolution. I think you're worried about how this will come about, or how things will work out to bring you to this person. But it's all just going to flow together naturally, and you don't have to do anything but just know your power, know your worth, and take care of yourself. The more you take care of yourself, the more this will come together. And I think helpful people was on the back of the deck, so this could come together in some court sort of community setting. So there's nothing but good things in this pile. This is beautiful. And you might be wondering how you're going to come into union. You might have an idea of who this person is, and I'm hearing you're just getting started, and it's all going to come together naturally, so you don't have to push anything here. Just let it flow. So to close, we're going to read a Rumi card. I'm going to read this from the Oracle deck because Hand of Fatima. Did this come out for another pile? I think it might have. Yes, it did. It came out for the... Anyway. You are giving birth to more spirit than you have ever held before. During such times, a divine midwife can be helpful and supportive. This is Fatima, radiant daughter of the great beloved, who reaches from the skies, who reaches up from within your body, from deep within the earth, and brings you the gift of protection, grace, and love. You are safe, you are held, and you are bound within her warmth. She has received your prayers, and she honors your devotion to love, to life, and to growth. She will help you. Ask for her blessing daily. You can use a simple sacred honoring ritual to do so if you need guidance on how to pray to her, but any words from your heart spoken in authenticity will suffice, no matter how simple or ornate they may be. She responds to the feeling behind the words, and she responds instantly, beyond time and space. In fact, she has responded even now, perhaps before you even knew she was needed. The Oracle brings you the guidance that what is being born in your life right now, in your own consciousness as a seed, perhaps of a new way of being, a new idea, belief system, philosophy, or sense of self, is going to come to maturity under the loving protection of the Divine Mother. You are also being asked to heed your intuition and instincts. Have more discernment about who you involve yourself with and how you choose to use your time and energy. Allow yourself to feel Fatima's guidance and comfort in you by giving yourself permission to be nurtured through your own choices and the people or situations you say yes or no to in your life. This is a way to honor her presence and allow her to help you, which she wishes to do in all ways possible. Love is all things you see, dearest angel, and that means saying no can mean saying yes to something greater. So give yourself permission to say your no and yes as dictated by your heart. Your heart will lead you in the right direction, pile 3. This oracle also brings you the message that your body is sacred and worth your attention. You do not have to become obsessed. You do not have to push or judge your body, but you can honor him or her as a sacred animal through which your spirit creates soul and expresses itself in the world. This is a truly wonderful and amazing gift, extraordinary and yet fraught with challenge. The spirit can be powerful. Sometimes it can be hesitant too, enough to really engage with the body and come to life. There is a story that the angels sing music to lure the spirit into the body, but used to its freedom, it was reluctant to experience itself in what looked like a rather confining matter. The spirit did not know what Fatima would be initiating the spirit into her mysteries through the body. She was going to be sharing the sensuality of life, the sacredness of love, the deep mystery of life, death, and rebirth, and the wonders of nature. She was going to show the divine could live not only in light, but also in flesh. Fatima holds the wildness of divine feminine wisdom and the sanctity of life. She has great gifts of ecstatic presence, only able to be experienced throughout the spirit living in the body. She will share this if you allow her to guide you. Once the spirit recognizes this, even just gets a whiff of Fatima's glorious fragrance, the enthusiasm for life ignites, and the wonders of the world experienced through the body become a way to revere the great beloved and turn all of life into the temple of love. This oracle also comes with guidance. Giving your body rest and healing is most beneficial at this time. There are symptoms you are experiencing, anything from fuzzy-headedness to tiredness and aches and pains, as well as shifts in body temperature that seem unbalanced. And these are directly related, if not solely, to the interaction of your spiritual essence within your sacred animal body. These will even out under Fatima's grace and protection, like two housemates learning to live together and enhance each other, rather than distract and annoy each other with their quirks and differences. This settling in process will happen all the more easily when you ask Fatima's help. This oracle also advises that if you ask for help and protection in any matter, it will be granted. There is no exception to this rule. There is nothing you have ever done that has made you unworthy of divine intervention, grace, and love. Not one thing ever. Ask, trust, and receive. Wow. Pile 3. This was beautiful, and you are protected in this. So enjoy the ride, and you are very blessed. So this is all I'm seeing for you. It was an honor to read for you, and I will see you in another reading. Bye. Hey, Pile 4. If you chose this beautiful egg, then this is your reading on guidance from your root chakra. So let's get into it. I'm going to first shuffle the tarot cards, and then I've decided to shuffle all cards on screen, so you'll be seeing all of the shuffling. Ooh. Oh, that was fine. Okay. What does Pile 1... Oh. Nope. Let's now do this one more time. Oh. These cards are cards I really shuffle, so. Okay. What does Pile 4 need to know from the root chakra? We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Six of Cups in reverse, and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Pile 4. We also have the Six of Wands on the back of the deck. So, what I'm immediately getting for you is to take care of yourself, Pile 4. Your energy is very precious, and I feel like you're giving your energy to past experiences and to things that don't matter, and they don't matter to you in the long run, and I feel like they aren't aligned with you energetically. They're at a lower vibration than you, and you're meant to prioritize what you spend time on, what you spend time thinking about, what you spend time caring about. I'm hearing the phrase mind over matter in my head. And for you to reach success and be happy, you have to renegotiate the time and attention you spend giving to other people. I have a book that I want to read to you. So, this is from Women Who Run with the Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And she writes, For instance, I see in the talented women in my practice that soul skin theft can come through relationships that are not in their rightful skins themselves. And some relationships are downright poisonous. It takes will and force to overcome these relationships, but it can be done, especially if one will awaken to the voice calling from home, calling one back to the core self, where one's immediate wisdom is whole and accessible. From there, a woman can decide with clear seeing what it is she must have and what it is she wants to do. The aggravated theft of the seal skin also occurs far more subtly through the theft of a woman's resources and of her time. The world is lonely for comfort and for the hips and breasts of women. It calls out in a 1,000-handed, million-voiced way, waving to us, plucking and pulling at us, asking for our attention. Sometimes it seems that everywhere we turn there is someone or a something of the world that needs, wants, and wishes. But unless it is a life and death matter, take the time, make the time. To put on the brass brassiere, stop running the milk train. Okay. So pile 4, what I'm seeing is you're being asked to choose yourself and renegotiate your time and energy and reprioritize so that what you care about, what matters to your soul, is put first. In that reading, it talks about the seal skin, and that's a metaphor for the woman's soul. And for any gender identity, take this as it resonates for you. Your soul can be drained and lose power based on who and what you choose to spend energy on. And your root chakra is coming through to say there's things that you are giving attention to that aren't worth your time. And you're being asked to stand up for yourself and fight off these things that are not worth your time. And you're really being asked to reprioritize your life and look at what you truly value on a soul level and what you want to spend your energy on and how much you're actually doing that. How much are you scrolling on social media or spending time with a friend who makes you feel bad about yourself, or doing things that make you feel more drained and less soulful. You're meant to do things that call to your soul and make your soul feel electrified and nourished and replenished. I see that you have beautiful dreams and beautiful things you care about and things you do that light up your soul. And you know what they are. And everything else is radio static. And these 6 wands this woman is fighting off in the 7 of wands. I see you have to be diligent about fighting these things. And this is how you find fulfillment in yourself and happiness for yourself. And I love in that same passage, it's about returning home to oneself. It's basically saying there's a lot of ways to call on the soul. And we lose the soul skin by becoming too involved with ego, by being too exacting, perfectionistic, or unnecessarily martyred, or driven by blind ambition, or being dissatisfied about self, family, community, culture, world, and not saying or doing anything about it, or by pretending we are an unending source for others, or by not doing all we can to help ourselves. Oh, there are so many ways to lose the soul skin as there are women in the world. This is a very difficult task to keep your soul skin on and to keep what you care about sacred to you and honored for you. But I think there's a big thing in your life that you're just being asked to, this is one example. I had this email address that had tons of emails, and anytime I clicked on it, and most of them were spam and irrelevant, and it was really stressing me out. And so I ended up just closing that email address. And that might sound ridiculous, but it was causing me so much, it just felt like my soul was being sucked from me by how many emails were on this dang email address. And so I cut it out of my life. And that's just one small example, but there's things that you might feel pressured to do that are just society's expectations on you. You can make a new email address, you can make new friends, you can find new ways to empower yourself, but what you're feeding your time and attention to is unbalanced right now. And your root chakra wants you to be aware of this and aware that there is a more sacred and fulfilling way you could be spending your time to empower yourself. So let's look at the archetypes deck. What does Pile 4 need to hear? You have the Poet and the Queen. The Poet's light attributes are expressing soul insights in symbolic language. Your soul is craving to create and make art and speak from the soul. Your soul wants to be expressed and channeled through you. And you're being asked not to lower your standards. I think there's some events in your life that are the lowering of standards. And for you to fully come into your power and to recognize your soul's beauty, you are meant to stay on your pedestal, not come off for anybody. Redefine how you perceive your worth, because you are a very precious soul that is being drained by some of the environmental factors around you. And this is coming through to say that your gifts are sacred, what you do is sacred, and you're being asked to create more in whatever capacity that might be for you, because the world needs your gifts, the world needs your art. And your root chakra is saying that's where you find your fulfillment. When you feel dissatisfied with life, create, and you will be brought back to yourself. Let's look at the animal spirit cards. Octopus. This is all about boundaries. You need to have more boundaries with the people around you and the things you do. I feel as though you might be a people pleaser and want to help as many people as you can, or do things, you don't want to step on anyone's toes. But you need to have these boundaries to really optimize your potential to self-actualize, because the crown chakra is highlighted in this octopus. You are very connected to spirit through the crown chakra. And that's the last chakra, the seventh one, and the root chakra that we are channeling from today is the first. And for you to connect to spirit, you have to be rooted in solid relationships that have boundaries. And really this comes down to you knowing your worth and stop. I think you might tend to get your worth from how others perceive you, and you need to realize your worth is intrinsic, and nothing you do, no action you do, or how any other person perceives you affects your worth. Your worth is innate. So you're really being asked to reprioritize with relationships and realize that your time and attention to others needs to be reprioritized so you can take back your power. So if you've been struggling at all, your time and attention to others and to things that drain you, that's what you need to focus or need to notice and stop doing, so that you can really honor yourself and follow your soul's path, because you're a very powerful soul and you have important things to do, and your time is precious. Your time and energy are very precious. And if you don't stand up for yourself, who will? You need to fight for yourself and choose yourself and be intentional with where your energy goes. What does the Rose Oracle? Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. People and things that take from your joy, take from your peace, and take from the sweetness of life need to be minimized from your life or gotten rid of completely. I know it's hard with certain situations to fully get rid of them, but your main goal is to realize that you have a right to your joy, peace, and sweetness of life in all forms, and whatever gives you that is what you should go towards. And I have a feeling that in your artistic pursuits, that's where you find a lot of this. And I think you have unfair expectations put on you by the people around you, and it's imperative that you choose yourself, because I feel like life hasn't been feeling as sweet to you as it should. And the way you do this is by showing yourself that you give yourself the respect you deserve, and you care for yourself, and you care for what you experience. The more you show yourself that, the more sacred your life will feel. Let's look at the archetype deck. Empty room. Imagine that you could just make your life anything you want it to be in this empty room. You have infinite potential for whatever you want. That's what you can do. You can cut away these things that don't sustain you and focus your energy on what nourishes you and uplifts you. You have infinite potential here, and you're meant to dream this into reality and not let other people get in the way of your dreams and efforts. And you don't need anyone else to see your worth for you to have immense worth, and you do. So what are you going to do with your creative abilities and talents and the way you perceive life? Because I can see that you perceive it in a very beautiful way, a very original way. And you're meant to do something with this mind of yours and create something. You're meant to create in this room, or whatever room you're in currently. We're going to look at the Angels Oracle cards. Communicate clearly within the next few weeks, and yes, communicate what you need. Communicate truly how you feel. The main thing here is do not people please. Prioritize yourself. And within the next few weeks of you doing this and you prioritizing your time, you'll see major change and shifts in your life and things really following. The more you actively choose yourself, the more your life will show that back to you. So communicate your needs with yourself and with other people. There's this oracle card in another deck that talks about how can you know a wound is, or how can you heal a wound if you don't even know it's there? And how can you fulfill a need or a desire that you haven't brought out of your subconscious into your conscious? It's the same. It's like two sides of the same coin. So you're meant to communicate clearly with yourself what you want and prioritize that. And it's going to come in quickly. You're very abundant. You're a manifester, and things will come in fast. I'm seeing that very strongly. You have to reevaluate, and the ball will really start rolling there. So this is beautiful. Like Spirit's really just saying, hey, let's course correct a little bit, and everything's going to be beautiful. So we're going to end with the Rumi cards. Sacred Phoenix Heart. This came out for pile 1. Wow. Pile 2 and 3 had the same card come out too. If you were drawn to pile 1, I think I also started this reading by accidentally saying that. So the Sacred Phoenix Heart. Love guides us through travails that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge, from any cause. It cannot. It is just love's way. Love says to us there is always another way. You are receiving this guidance now. Perhaps you are scratching your head quizzically or are in deepest despair because you appear to have met a dead end, a frowning no, or a dismissive laugh upon your quest to bring love alive. So then, do you choose to believe in love or in the death of sorts your heart faces? Your heart shall rally. I choose death because that is the portal to new life. And so it is wise, you see, but you must be brave. To be burned in love by love for love will involve endurance of pain. but it will also place it in context. It is the shorter pain that is not compounded by erroneous thinking. That pain comes and goes quite quickly when you realize that love is simply playfully smacking your wrist and saying, "Not that way, beloved. There are great pitfalls on that path. Come take this one, where there shall be wine and dancing." So you are guided to answer the closed doors, or you are guided to accept the closed doors, the death, the pain, and to let it become tinder for your fire. Cry whatever tears need to be cried so your tinder can be dry and ready to create the sparks your heart needs. That sacred phoenix, ready to die into life within you, is hungry for the fire. Let it feast so it can fulfill its potential, its divine destiny, and become born again into new form, more divinely aligned and alive than ever before. This oracle comes with a message for you. You may feel as though you have been wandering in a desert for many years with no oasis in sight. You might have been through darkness, through trials, endured confusion and uncertainty as you sought for your truth, sought divine revelation, and sought your purpose to confirm your plans. Seek no more. The answers are now given, or very soon will be, and the life, the passion, the purpose, it will all come to you in clarity. Does life need to be grasped for? It is bestowed according to grace and destiny. It need not be sought as much as received. The spiritual destiny that calls your soul, even while you may feel your bodily ears are deaf to the call, makes your heart leap. It is as though hearing the beloved's voice and stirring an ancient memory of love so powerful moves you, even without you necessarily understanding how or why. So let the life come to you. Be prepared to let the old version of your life pass away into the new life now being born. What does this mean? It means letting go of your striving, your opinions, your doubts, your despair, and your fears. Life wants to happen through you, blazing angel. You don't have to do much other than get out of your own way. Love is your nature. Let it flourish, and life shall unfold accordingly. This oracle brings a particular message regarding divine timing, that oh so significant factor in our dreams coming to life. Your time is fast approaching. It may even be now. It may seem least likely to you. There may be great darkness or confusion, and yet the unveiling of the new dawn is closest to the deepest darkness of night. Do not turn back or away from your progress. Your very next steps shall be upon hallowed ground, rendered golden by the rays of the rising sun. Wow. Okay, pile 4, that's what I'm getting for you. You are being resurrected. The self you knew is falling away, and a new person, a stronger person who knows your worth, is rising from the ashes. So yeah, this is a beautiful reading, pile 4. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care.